Hello guys, I am back and I am currently house sitting for some family friends, which means that I don't have access to a computer that can run my editing software. So this is all going to be one take, and if I fuck up or do something really embarrassing, I just have to roll with it. So I'd like to start this video with some acknowledgements to some lovely people that I met on my walk today. The man that tried to hit on me while I was picking up dog shit. Your input was definitely needed in that situation, and you really know when to flatter a lady. Maybe next time just, go fuck yourself instead of trying to flirt with me while I am holding warm fecal matter. And to the androgynous person who would not let me leave the conversation even though I said goodbye twice, turned away 3 times, the dog was barking at them, and I told them I didn't know what they were talking about, and I didn't have any money for them, and they genuinely seemed confused when I didn't know about the Mill Bay marijuana shop. Your choice of hair color was killer, but your social mannerisms were like that of a killer, and please let people leave conversations. Just saying. So anyway, what I actually wanted to do with this video, rather than ranting about the walk I just took, was to do a sleepover Friday. Now, I don't know if you guys are on Tumblr a lot, but basically every Friday, people who want attention and are lonely, aka me, do a thing called Sleepover Friday, where you can send us questions, confessions, fuck, marry, kills, truth or dares, anything. And I decided to do one of those and film a video response because I'm really bored. So yeah, the first question I have is from Anonymous, who says, Sleepover Friday thing, questions, do you have and or want any tattoos? Also, if you could cosplay anyone ever, regardless of gender, race, body, size, robotness, etc., good choice of words there, who would you cosplay? Okay, I do have tattoos. I have Fragile on my wrist, which is a story and a half in and of itself. And then on my back, which I don't even know if you'll be able to see, I have a phoenix on this shoulder, and then a railroad spike on my spine. The phoenix is obviously a symbol of rebirth. I went through some shit when I was younger. Depression, suicidal tendencies, that sort of shit. And I got better. Life got better. And it seemed really appropriate to me to get a symbol of rebirth. So I did. The Fragile thing is way too long of a story. Basically, this wrist is fucked and I keep forgetting it. And the railroad spike is a symbol of endurance. And so I have actually a railroad spike that I stole off of a shut down railway. And it's sort of a meditative focal point for me, so getting it tattooed on me is a way of always having it there. And then if you could cosplay, oh yeah, and I do want a lot more tattoos. I want to be covered in them. I love tattoos. If you could cosplay anyone ever, regardless of robotness, who would you cosplay? That is really tempting. Right now I'm working on a Furiosa cosplay, because I don't know if you've noticed, but Charlize Theron and I have the same hairstylist. Furiosa is going to be an awesome cosplay to do, but I feel like in this infinite universe of cosplay ability, I would have to be an elite from Halo. Because that is something I could never do in real life, but that would be a badass cosplay to do. Or like a Wookiee or something. I don't know, some full bodysuit thing. Chanika Geller says, tell us the most embarrassing story you've got. Ho ho. Okay, so I am hoping that my lovely Italian friend Etra is not watching this, because this happened while I was in Italy and I haven't told her about this. So I was in Italy visiting her, well, I was there sort of on business, and we went to a pub with her and her boyfriend and a couple of his school friends. And Italian toilets are different from American toilets. So I went into the bathroom, and I couldn't figure out how to flush it. And I don't know if this bathroom was an automatic flush or whatever. But there was this like pull cord, and I was like, oh, maybe it's that sort of thing, because I've seen that in movies, makes sense. So I pull it, and then an alarm starts going off. And so I fucking bolt out of the bathroom, past the staff member who is coming in to check on, I guess it was like one of those handicap alarms for if you like fall out of your wheelchair or something and you need assistance. Yeah, so I just ran, and I did not mention it. And everyone's like, oh, I wonder what happened. And I'm like, oh yeah, I wonder what happened. So yeah, Enter, if you're watching this, I'm sorry that I caused a scene within my first 3 hours in Italy. Anonymous said, story, first day of school / any other interesting thing you want to talk about. First day of school, I have been to a lot of schools, honestly, so I don't really remember my first day of schools. They were all pretty uneventful. My first day of culinary school, I became known as that motorcycle chick because we had to share interesting facts about ourselves, and the only interesting thing about me is that I ride motorcycles because I'm too afraid to drive a car. So I was that motorcycle chick for a while until I got my other nickname, which was Throbbin' Robin. Any other interesting thing you want to talk about? Probably the most interesting story I have is the time I jumped in a fountain with my friend, because we'd been drinking. I hadn't been drinking as much as her, but I had had a few drinks, admittedly. And it was on her bucket list to jump in a fountain, so we did. And we took off our shoes, we took off our socks, we rolled up our pants, and we jumped in the fountain, and it had that weatherproofing coating that gets really slippery when it's wet on the inside. And so our feet touched the bottom, and we fell flat on our asses in a public fountain in the middle of downtown Vancouver. And I had my phone in my back pocket. That phone went through a lot of shit, to be honest. So yeah, that's the story of the time I jumped in a fountain. And then Mama Werewolf says, what was your high school aesthetic? Like music, food, clothes, friends, etc. Yeah, we didn't really call it an aesthetic when I was in high school. I graduated high school in 2012. Basically, music that I listened to in high school was heavy metal, with the occasional acceptance for hard rock. I was that kid who wanted to seem tougher than they actually were, which worked, because I rode a motorcycle and I wore a leather jacket every day, and I had really short-cut hair, and I was sort of a bitch to everyone, and it worked. No one really wanted to talk to me, which was actually the opposite of what I wanted to happen. I wanted people to talk to me because they thought I was cool. But I wasn't cool, I was just scary. So yeah, my aesthetic was a tough kid who secretly wants to be loved. My friends in high school were the band kids, and not the cool band kids. I'm sorry if any of them are watching this. But we were those kids who sat in one of the out-of-the-way hallways and ate our lunches and made terrible, corny jokes. And yeah, in high school I was a massive nerd that everyone thought was terrifying. So yeah, that was a couple of questions, couple of facts about myself, and I don't even think I fucked it up too much. So if you guys have any questions, if you want to hear more stories from me, like if you liked that, click the thumbs up below, leave a comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I can't put any... I suppose I could put a link up, but yeah, I hope to see you guys in the future, and feel free to ask me things at any time.